Hi, man. What's your opinion of Miss Debnath advising the chief not to lay hate charges?
Sorry, I have no comment. I don't even know what's going on.
We definitely need a new mayor, and we definitely need a new police chief, and we need transparency in the city.
David Menzies for Rebel News here outside Toronto Police Headquarters in downtown Toronto. And folks, we have an update on the Falguni Debnath controversy. Who is Falguni Debnath? Well, you see, Joe Warmington in the Toronto Sun recently reported that Toronto Mayor Olivia Chow said that Toronto Police Chief Myron Demkiw told her that the police have their hands tied when it comes to charging those pro-Hamas thugs with hate crimes. And folks, you are not experiencing deja vu. We are indeed back at Toronto Police Headquarters. We have brought our beautiful Jumbotron equipped truck. It is displaying the same messaging, i.e. calling out a certain lawyer with the Toronto Police Service and demanding that the chief be fired. And folks, if you think, as we do, that Toronto Police Chief Myron Demkiw is the worst police chief in this city's history, and what a benchmark given that Bill Blair used to be the chief of police here, please go to firethechief.ca. That's firethechief.ca. Put your name on our petition, and if you can help us out with the expenses of the truck, please make a donation.
Yeah, the chief have communicated to me. As you know, I can't direct the chief in terms of operation, but we can set policy. And the chief have been saying that they have charged. He has made charges, but then it gets thrown out by the Crown, and they won't even accept it. So you do all the work to do the charges, and then yet it doesn't go anywhere. So at some point they said they have a lawyer that at the police headquarters that look at cases and said, okay, there's no hope of you getting anywhere, so don't bother.
Is that actually the case? And when the mayor says that there is a lawyer who has advised, do not engage, do not arrest, is she in error?
Well, listen, I don't know where she's getting that narrative
from. She says you.
Yeah, well, we didn't have a discussion that would suggest quite the way that's been framed. So, no, there is not.
That's absolutely incredible. And can you imagine, folks, if policing worked that way? An officer sees a theft in progress, but you know what? I don't think I have enough for this to stand up in court. I'm just going to let it go. No. You lay the charges and you let the courts settle it in terms of the person being guilty or not guilty.
It's the infamous two-tiered policing, David, and that's exactly what we have here at Toronto Police Headquarters. They police how they see fit, it seems, these days, in my opinion. And like I said, we've been in numerous protests together down at Shepherd and Bathurst, and the amount of hate coming from the Palestinian side, Hamas flags and whatnot being present, and no charges being laid.
Here's where the story takes a unique twist. Chief Demkiw said he never said such a thing to the mayor, so it's a matter of he said, she said, isn't it? Who's lying and why? For what it's worth, I believe the mayor on this particular file. Now, we have added information to report. You see, in the aftermath of Joe's reporting and our beautiful Rebel News Jumbotron-equipped truck, well, the police are absolutely furious with the outing of Miss Debnath. In fact, Stephanie Sayer, she's one of the media spokespeople here at Toronto Police Headquarters. This is what she said in writing to our friend Joe Warmington at the Toronto Sun, and I think it's shocking. Quote, "We expect the following actions immediately. A clear and prominent correction removing any reference, direct or implied, to our general counsel providing advice on criminal charging decisions, removal of her name and image from the article, and an acknowledgement that the assertion was inaccurate. Failure to correct the record promptly will leave us no choice but to consider further steps to address the reputational harm caused, end quote. Further steps, what the hell does this flack mean by further steps?
It's actually shocking to me that they would actually stoop that low to basically threaten a journalist. Whatever happened to journalism in this country when you say something against the Toronto Police Service and you're basically threatened.
Is the Toronto Police going to sue Joe Warmington? Is the Toronto Police going to arrest Joe Warmington? Is the Toronto Police going to, make Joe Warmington disappear? This is outrageous and egregious, and it indicates that the police have zero respect for the free press. Oh, and get this, we understand from sources that Stephanie Sayer is equally furious with us, but you see, she doesn't interact with Rebel News. She feels that she's above that, so she goes and complains to others. What a coward. What a complete unprofessional media communications person. By the way, nobody in the media communications department will speak to us, but clearly they would rather that Miss Debneth remain a silent assassin. Evidently, this lawyer doesn't like being made a public figure. Hey man, what's your opinion of Miss Debneth advising the chief not to lay hate charges?
Sorry, I have no comment. I don't even know what's going on.
Oh, okay. You work for the police, though, don't you? Or?
Yes.
Okay, then we understand that the chief said to the mayor that they won't lay hate charges against the pro-Hamas demonstrators because the chief or the general counsel, Miss Debneth, says not to. Is that really her role?
I'm not sure. I have no comment.
Okay, then.
Sorry.
All right. Thank you for your time. Merry Christmas. So what we're seeing right now in real time is the Barbara Streisand effect, isn't it? And if you're unaware of what that effect is all about, folks, the Barbara Streisand effect is when trying to hide, censor, or remove information inadvertently makes it more popular and widely known, backfiring spectacularly on the person or entity attempting suppression. Merry Christmas. Why the two-tier policing? What is driving this?
It's obviously something internal, and the climate between the Olivia Chow and the police chief, they can't seem to get their story straight.
So at some point they said they have a lawyer that at the police headquarters that looked at cases and said, okay, there's no hope of you getting anywhere, so don't bother.
No, that's not how these conversations go. They're all very contextualized on individual sets of facts and circumstances. And when we present evidence, it's based on that particular set of facts and circumstances.
Definitely need a new mayor, and we definitely need a new police chief, and we need transparency in the city.
You know, folks, I get it. Art is in the eye of the beholder, but this statue in front of police headquarters, it is a female making a brick wall or a brick edifice. Do you think this symbolizes, say, Stephanie Sayer, the communications person? She's putting up a wall in terms of communicating with the media, which is her job, by the way. But wow, I don't know. I don't know what to make of this. You know what, folks? I would love to be a fly on the wall inside Toronto Police Headquarters. Actually, that's not true. I hate that expression. I think being a fly on a wall is a very dangerous place for an insect. You're confined and you might receive a death sentence. But anyway, I would love to know what they're talking about, because if you look up, way up, yep, there's the Toronto Police 360 camera. I'll give them a wave. We might even be audio recorded right now. So I'm sure they are definitely aware of our presence. Let's see if they're going to do anything.
Throughout my career of policing, I've never seen the bias that the Toronto Police are having towards the Jewish population in the city. To me, it's disgusting, and it's not working. It's going against the city. It's dividing the city. Chief Demke needs to resign.
How do you think a Jew in a predominantly Jewish neighborhood in North Toronto feels when the Hamas holes show up every Saturday, march into residential neighborhoods, chant genocide, display swastikas, cosplay a Sinwar, do you think they're not offended? They're going to be here to make sure everyone sees our messaging, and hopefully we'll gain some critical mass to fire the worst police chief in Hogtown history. But you know, when it comes to both Falguni Debnath and Stephanie Sayer, I must quote perhaps the most famous line from William Shakespeare's Hamlet. It is uttered by Queen Gertrude, and it means that someone's excessive denials suggest they might actually be guilty and insincere. Quote, "The lady doth protest too much, methinks," end quote. For Rebel News, I'm David the Menzoid Menzies. Hey folks, crime in Toronto is out of control. Morale at the Toronto Police Service has never been lower. Please, will you go to firethechief.ca? That's firethechief.ca. Let's tell Chief Demkew to pack it up and leave. And while you're there, if you can, kindly make a donation.